Welcome to Sleepy Science Wonders. I am so glad you are here tonight. Perhaps the world outside has been a little too loud today, perhaps your mind is still spinning with the echoes of tasks and conversations. If so, let this be your sanctuary. You don't need to do anything now but rest. Let your breath find its own natural, slow rhythm. Feel your thoughts soften like mist over a quiet lake. And allow your body to grow heavy, as if you are sinking gently into the very earth that has carried life for billions of years. Tonight, we are beginning a long journey together, a journey through deep time. We are going to wander quietly through the story of life, not in a straight line, but as if we are walking through a vast, ancient forest with branching, tangled trees. This is a story told not in words, but in the silent language of fossils, the softness of feathers, and the hidden instructions tucked away inside every cell of your body. From the jellyfish that drift through the dark oceans to the birds that carry the ancient shadows of dinosaurs in their wings, evolution is a constant, quiet pulse. It is everywhere, and it is even within you. We will move slowly, gently, exploring one strange and beautiful truth at a time. Did you know that in the very beginning of your life, you carried a small reminder of a much older world? During the first few weeks of development, every human embryo briefly has a tail. It is a tiny extension at the base of the spine, a clear, silent echo of ancestors who once used such things to balance in the high canopy of trees or to move through the water. This small tail is not just a shape, it is made of real vertebrae, muscles, and even nerves. It begins to form around the 28th day of development, and for a short while, it grows until it reaches its peak length. But then, in most of us, the body quietly pulls it back, absorbing it and turning it into what we now know as the tailbone, or the coccyx. Even though the tail disappears, the memory of it remains in your bones. It is a gentle reminder that we are part of a much larger family, a lineage that stretches back through millions of years. Just imagine the patience of nature, the way it holds on to these old blueprints, even when they are no longer needed. As you lie there, feel the weight of your own spine. Think of the millions of years of movement that led to the way you rest right now. Life is never truly still, it is always whispering, always adapting, always finding a way to persist. There is a profound peace in knowing that you are connected to everything else. That the same spark of life that moved through ancient seas is the same spark that keeps your heart beating in this very moment. You are a living map of history. Every curve of your hand, every blink of your eye, carries a story of survival and change. Let your mind drift now to the vast oceans, where the first cells began to whisper to one another. There was no rush then, and there is no rush now. Time moves differently when we think about the stars and the stones. In the grand scale of the universe, our worries are as light as dust, and our rest is as deep as the sea. You are safe here in the quiet, surrounded by the wonders of science and the stillness of the night. The journey has only just begun, and there are many more secrets to uncover as we sleep. Close your eyes now, let the deep time settle over you like a warm blanket. You are part of the story, you are part of the wonder. The darkness of the ancient world is not a cold or frightening place, it is a cradle of quiet adaptation. As we move deeper into the story of life, we leave the familiar surface behind and sink into the silent, cool embrace of the deep waters, where time seems to slow down until it almost stops. Imagine yourself drifting now, supported by the gentle pressure of the ocean, feeling the weight of the world lift as you descend into the indigo blue. Then the midnight black. There is no rush here, only the steady, rhythmic pulse of existence. In these hidden places, in the furthest corners of underwater caves that haven't seen the sun for millions of years, evolution performs a strange and beautiful kind of magic. It is the art of letting go. There are fish that live in these caves, descendants of ancestors who once swam in the bright, sunlit rivers of the surface. Those ancestors had eyes. Eyes that could see the shimmer of a dragonfly's wing or the golden glow of the morning sun. But as these fish moved deeper into the absolute darkness of the earth, the rules of survival began to change. Evolution is a careful architect, it does not like to waste energy. In a world where there is zero light, maintaining a complex organ like an eye is a heavy burden. Eyes require energy to build, energy to protect, and a significant portion of the brain to process what they see. When there is nothing to see, the eye becomes a luxury that life can no longer afford. And so, over vast stretches of time, slowly, generation by generation, the eyes of these cave fish began to fade. In many species, the eyes became smaller and smaller, until eventually, they disappeared entirely. Today, some of these fish are born with skin growing right over where their eyes used to be. They are blind in the way we understand sight, but they are not lost. They have traded the sense of light for something far more delicate. They perceive the world through the vibration of the water, feeling the heartbeat of a nearby creature or the subtle shift of a current against a rock. They see with their whole bodies, in a state of perfect, sightless peace. Think of that stillness, the ability to exist in total darkness without fear, simply trusting the vibrations of the world around you. Just as you are resting now, eyes closed, letting go of the visual world to focus on the soft rise and fall of your breath, and the quiet hum of the room around you. But the echoes of the past are not only found in the small and the hidden. They are carried in the bodies of the giants that roam the open oceans. Imagine a blue whale, a creature so immense that its heart is the size of a car, its tongue as heavy as an elephant. As it glides through the deep blue, it seems like a being made entirely for the water, a master of the sea. Yet, deep within its massive body, tucked away near the base of its spine, lie two small, disconnected bones. These are vestigial hip bones. They are not attached to the whale's backbone. They serve no purpose in swimming or diving. They are silent, bony letters from a time long forgotten. These tiny fragments tell us that the ancestors of the whale once walked on land. They had 4 legs, fur, and ears meant for hearing in the air. They were small, deer-like creatures that lived at the water's edge 50 million years ago. Over millions of years, they stepped further into the waves, their front legs becoming powerful flippers. Their back legs shrinking, until finally, the legs vanished altogether, leaving only these 2 small bones behind as a memory. It is a profound thought to hold while you drift towards sleep, that even the most perfect dweller of the ocean carries the skeleton of a landwalker within it. Everything is in transition. Nothing is ever truly finished. We carry our history in our marrow, in the curve of our bones, and in the way our bodies remember the ancient rhythms of the earth. Whether it is the cave fish finding peace in the dark, or the whale carrying the ghosts of its legs through the deep, life always finds a way to adapt, to simplify, and to endure. Feel the continuity of it all. You are part of this long, slow breath of history. You don't need to strive, you don't need to change. You only need to be. Like the whale in the deep. Like the fish in the cave, you are exactly where you need to be, supported by the vast, silent wisdom of time. The water is calm, the darkness is kind, and the echoes of the past are singing you to sleep. Rising from the cool, lightless depths of the ocean, we find ourselves drifting toward the vast, open silence of the golden savannas. Imagine the warmth of a setting sun touching the dry grass, and the way the air grows still as the day begins to fade. In this space of quiet transition, we look up to see the most elegant of giants, the giraffe. Its silhouette is a masterpiece of vertical grace. A neck that reaches toward the clouds, allowing it to touch leaves that no other creature can dream of reaching. At first glance, such a neck seems like an expression of ultimate freedom, as if nature decided to break all the rules to reach the sky. But as we look closer, as we look beneath the skin and the muscle, we find a secret that is both strange and deeply humbling. Despite its incredible length, a giraffe's neck contains the exact same number of bones as your own. 7. Nearly every mammal on this planet, from the tiny, scurrying field mouse in the tall grass, to the human resting quietly in this moment, to the towering giraffe, is bound by this ancient architectural law. We are all connected by the number 7. It is a stubborn blueprint that has persisted for millions of years. A biological anchor that evolution chose not to move. Think of the patience in that design. Instead of simply adding more vertebrae to make the neck longer, which might seem like the easier path, evolution chose to work with what was already there. It took those 7 bones and stretched them, expanding each one until it became a massive pillar of bone, some nearly a foot long. This is the quiet art of evolution. It does not always invent something new. It breathes new life into the old. It stretches the familiar until it becomes something miraculous. As you lie there, feel the gentle support under your own neck. Notice how your 7 vertebrae hold your head in perfect balance, just as they have for every ancestor who came before you. There is a profound sense of safety in this continuity. You are built upon a foundation that has been tested by time. A structure that has been refined through countless generations of life. Nature is full of these invisible boundaries. We often think of evolution as a force of infinite change, but it is also a force of deep loyalty to what works. It is a balance between the urge to reach for the high branches and the necessity of keeping the core design intact. The giraffe carries the weight of its long neck with a slow, deliberate peace. Its heart pumping blood with immense pressure to reach that height, yet its skeletal frame remains a mirror of our own. Let your mind wander through the interconnectedness of all living things. Imagine a great blue whale, whose neck is so short it seems non-existent, and yet, tucked within that massive frame are the same 7 bones. A sloth, moving through the canopy with ancient slowness, might have 8 or 9. One of the very few exceptions that proves how rigid this rule usually is. But for almost all of us, the number 7 is our shared heritage. This realization brings a certain stillness to the soul. It reminds us that we are not separate from the world around us. We are variations on a theme, different instruments playing the same ancient melody. The giraffe's height and your quiet rest are both parts of the same story. written in the same language of bone and marrow. Feel the muscles in your shoulders relax, let the tension in your neck dissolve into the softness of your pillow. You don't need to reach for anything tonight. You don't need to stretch or strive. Like the giraffe standing still under the moonlight, you can simply exist in this perfect, pre-designed harmony. Everything in nature has its limits, and within those limits, there is a vast, quiet beauty. We find peace not by escaping our nature, but by embracing the elegance of how we are made. The blueprint is already complete. The work of the day is done. Listen to the silence of the savannah, feel the ancient rhythm of the earth beneath you. 7 bones, 7 steps toward a deeper rest. You are safe, you are part of the design, and the stars are watching over the long, graceful shadows of the world. Leaving the golden, silent savannas of the giraffe behind, we find ourselves drifting through a world that exists in the soft, velvet shadows of the night and the deep, cool blue of the ocean. Sometimes, nature gives the exact same key to 2 completely different creatures to solve the same difficult problem. This is one of the most elegant coincidences in evolution, what scientists call convergent evolution. It is the story of how life, despite taking different paths, often arrives at the same peaceful destination. Imagine, for a moment, a bat, its fur as soft as the night air, its wings stretching like silk as it glides through the dark canopy of a forest. And then, imagine a dolphin, its skin as smooth as river stone, leaping through the waves of a vast, moonlit sea. One moves through the air, the other through the water. One has wings, the other has fins. Yet, both are faced with the same challenge: how to navigate a world where light cannot reach. In the absolute darkness of a deep cave or the murky depths of the ocean, eyes become less important, and sound becomes everything. Over millions of years of quiet trial and error, both the bat and the dolphin learned to see with their ears. They developed echolocation, a way of turning sound into an invisible, perfect map of their surroundings. Think of the delicate precision of this gift. A bat sends out high-pitched clicks, sounds so sharp and frequent that they bounce off the tiniest moth in the air. A dolphin sends out a series of clicks and whistles that travel through the heavy water, striking a school of fish miles away. The sound goes out into the void, it hits an object, and it returns as an echo. For these creatures, the world is not a landscape of colors and shapes lit by the sun. It is a landscape of echoes. They perceive the texture of a leaf, the distance of a rock, and the movement of a friend through the gentle return of their own voice. It is a world built on listening, a world where every sound tells a story of safety or direction. As you lie here now, let yourself drift into that same state of deep listening. Close your eyes and notice how the visual world begins to fade away, leaving only the rhythm of my voice and the soft, steady echo of your own breath. You don't need to look at anything, you don't need to monitor the room. You can simply trust the sounds around you to hold you in place, just as the bat trusts the echoes of the trees. What is truly miraculous is that when we look deep into the cells of these animals, we find a hidden signature. Even though bats and dolphins are not closely related, one being a tiny flying mammal and the other a giant marine dweller, they both went through the exact same genetic changes to develop this hearing. Evolution found a solution that worked so perfectly that it used it twice, in 2 different worlds. It is a reminder that there are certain truths in the universe that life will always find its way back to. Feel the comfort in that idea, that there is a logic to the chaos, a shared language between the sky and the sea. We are all walking different paths, but we are often heading toward the same quiet truths. Whether we are navigating through the dark of the forest or the dark of our own thoughts, there is always a way to find our bearings. Let the tension in your mind dissolve. Imagine the water of the ocean or the cool air of the night supporting you. You are navigating your way toward sleep now, not by looking, but by feeling the vibrations of the world. Every breath you take is like a soft pulse sent out into the night, returning to you with the message that you are safe, you are home, you are at peace. The bat has found its perch, the dolphin has found its pod. And you have found this moment of stillness. There is no more need for searching, no more need for clicks or calls. The map is complete. Listen to the silence that follows the sound. It is a deep, ancient silence that has existed since the first cells began to stir. It is the silence of time itself, vast, patient, and kind. Sleep now, and let the echoes of the deep time carry you into the softest of dreams. Rising slowly from the world of invisible maps and the rhythmic clicks of the deep, we turn our gaze upward, toward the soft, violet canopy of the twilight sky. Despite the heavy and constant pull of gravity, that ancient force that anchors us to the earth, life has always sought a way to ascend, to break free, and to find a home in the empty spaces between the clouds. Tonight, we will contemplate the miracle of flight, and the 4 distinct times that nature reinvented the wing to conquer the heavens. Flight was perhaps the most difficult challenge evolution ever faced. It required a perfect balance of lightness, strength, and courage. But life did not discover this miracle only once. It reached for the sky in 4 separate, independent movements across hundreds of millions of years. It is as if the universe itself was whispering a secret. And different creatures, at different times, all managed to hear it in their own way. First, long before the dinosaurs or the great mammals, there were the insects. Imagine the ancient forests of 300 million years ago, filled with giant ferns and towering club mosses. In that humid silence, small creatures began to flicker. They were the first to grow wings from their hard, outer shells, turning simple membranes into instruments of shimmering movement. They claimed the air while the rest of the world was still rooted in the mud, dancing through the prehistoric mist with a lightness that had never been seen before. Millions of years later, the earth trembled under the weight of the great reptiles. And from among them, the pterosaurs emerged. These were not birds, and they were not bats, they were something entirely unique. They grew a single, incredibly long finger on each hand. And from that finger, a sail of skin stretched all the way to their ankles. Imagine these giants standing on a high cliff, their leathery wings catching the warm thermal currents, before they stepped into the void to become the first vertebrate kings of the sky. As you rest now, imagine that feeling of stepping off into the air, not with fear, but with the absolute trust that the atmosphere will hold you. Feel the weight leaving your limbs. As if your bed is a cloud floating gently through a starless night. Then came the birds, perhaps the most patient transformation of all. Their story began with ground-dwelling dinosaurs who were covered in soft, decorative fuzz. Over countless generations, those scales became feathers, and those feathers grew long and stiff. Their very bones began to change, becoming hollow and filled with air sacs, turning their entire bodies into vessels of breath and light. When you look at a bird today, you are looking at a dinosaur that learned to breathe with its bones so that it could belong to the wind. And finally, in the most recent chapter of The Sky, the mammals made their move. The bats. Unlike the birds who use feathers, or the pterosaurs who used one long finger, bats use their entire hand. Their wings are made of skin stretched between all four fingers, allowing them to touch the air as they fly, maneuvering with a precision that no other creature can match. They are the only mammals to truly conquer the sky, a testament to the fact that even the most grounded lineages can find their way to the stars. Think of these four different wings: the insect's shimmer, the pterosaur's sail, the bird's feather, and the bat's hand. Four different solutions to the same beautiful dream. It reminds us that there is no single right way to reach our goals, there are many paths to the same height. Let your Zion mind drift through these different heights. You are no longer bound by the heaviness of the day. Like the hollow bones of the bird, your worries are becoming empty and light, filled with nothing but the quiet air of the night. You are floating, drifting, suspended in a space where gravity has no power over your thoughts. The sky is vast, and it is endlessly patient. It has watched the rise and fall of a million different wings, and it is watching over you now. You are safe in the expanse. You are part of the ascent. Feel the cool, imaginary breeze against your face, the silence of the high altitudes, and the peace of being untethered. The world below is small and quiet, and you are here, in the stillness of the upper air. Nature has mastered the art of rising. And now, you are mastering the art of letting go. Sleep now, among the clouds of memory, and let the four wings of history carry you into a deep, weightless rest. Gently leaving the vast, open expanse of the sky and the rhythmic beating of four different kinds of wings, we turn our gaze inward. We are no longer looking at the horizon or the deep oceans, but at a place far more intimate and infinitely more mysterious. We are descending into the microscopic sanctuary of your own cells, into the very heart of what makes you, you. In this quiet, invisible space, there lies an ancient alphabet that has been writing the story of the world for billions of years. DNA. It is not merely a biological molecule, it is a long, winding poem, a silent song that every living thing on this planet is singing together. In our daily lives, we often feel separate from the world around us. We see ourselves as distinct, complex beings, far removed from the quiet moss on a stone or the fruit hanging from a tree. But when you enter the silent library of your genetic code, you encounter a truth that is both humbling and profoundly peaceful. You are never truly alone, for you carry the signature of all life within your marrow. Consider a fact so strange it sounds like a dream: you share about 50% of your DNA with a banana. Take a moment to let that thought settle as you breathe in and out. Half of the instructions that build your body. The way your cells divide, the way you process energy from the sun's warmth, the way your heart maintains its steady, quiet rhythm, are the exact same instructions found in a simple, yellow fruit. This 50% is the foundational kitchen of life. It is the basic set of tools that nature perfected billions of years ago and decided never to change. Whether you are a human resting in a soft bed or a plant growing silently in the garden, the fundamental language of survival is the same. As you lie there, feel the connection that ripples out from your body to every corner of the earth. You are built from the same stardust and the same molecular sentences as the ancient ferns and the towering redwoods. We are all different books written with the same 20 amino acids, using the same 4 chemical letters. The differences we see, the eyes, the skin, the height, the thoughts, are only the final chapters. The beginning of our story is shared by everyone. Imagine your DNA as a long, shimmering thread of light, winding through every cell in your body. It is a thread that stretches back through time, connecting you to the very first spark of life in the primordial seas. Every ancestor you have ever had, every creature that survived long enough to pass on its code, is present in you right now. You are a living vessel for a journey that has lasted 4 billion years. There is a deep security in this shared heritage. It means you belong here. You are not an accident or an observer in the universe. You are a vital part of its fabric. When you feel the weight of your body sinking into your mattress, you are feeling the same gravity that pulls on the trees and the tides. And within you, your molecular bond with the rest of nature is keeping you whole, keeping you functioning, without you having to think about it at all. Nature is an efficient and beautiful architect. Once it finds a sequence that works, a sequence that allows a cell to breathe or a protein to fold, it keeps it. It guards these sequences like precious treasures, passing them down through the ages. This is why we find the same genes in a fruit fly, a mouse, and a human. We are variations on a theme, a grand, planetary symphony where every player is using a different instrument to play the same ancient melody. Let the tension in your mind dissolve into this sense of belonging. You don't need to be unique or extraordinary tonight. You can simply be a part of the great, shared rhythm of life. Like the banana tree growing quietly under the tropical moon, or the whale drifting in the polar sea, you are resting within the same biological embrace. Your cells know what to do. Your heart knows how to beat. Your lungs know how to draw in the cool night air. They are following instructions that are older than the mountains. You are in good hands, the hands of deep time and molecular wisdom. The world is a web of invisible connections. As you drift closer to sleep, imagine those shimmering threads of DNA binding you to the earth, to the sky, and to every living thing. There is no separation. There is only the flow of life, moving through you and around you. The library is quiet now. The book of the day is closing. You are safe in the shared alphabet of the stars and the soil. Sleep now, feeling the pulse of the entire world in your own quiet breath. Emerging from the silent, microscopic library of our cells and the shared alphabet of our DNA, we find ourselves drifting back toward the sun-drenched silence of the desert canyons and the ancient, rocky ridges of the world. Here, where the heat of the day lingers in the stones and the wind whispers through the dry brush, life sometimes chooses a path of ultimate independence. Tonight, we will contemplate one of nature's most profound mysteries. The story of the lonely mothers, creatures who carry the flame of life forward without the need for a partner. In certain quiet corners of the earth, there are entire populations of lizards where not a single male exists. Among species like the whiptail lizard, life is not a meeting of two different paths, it is a solitary, beautiful reflection of the self. Through a process known as parthenogenesis, or virgin birth. These females produce eggs that require no fertilization. They contain within themselves everything needed to begin the next generation. Each daughter is a near-perfect copy of her mother, a continuation of a lineage that has survived for millions of years through pure, self-sufficient resilience. Imagine a lizard resting upon a warm, flat stone as the evening sun begins to dip below the horizon. She does not wait for a call in the dark. She does not search for a mate among the shadows. She is complete. Within her body, the ancient dance of chromosomes performs a solo masterpiece, doubling and dividing in a way that preserves the strength of her ancestors without the intervention of another. This is life's way of saying that it can persist even in the most isolated reaches of existence, that the spark of being is so powerful, it can ignite itself. As you lie there in the stillness of your room, imagine yourself on those same quiet rocks. Feel the lingering warmth of the earth beneath you, and let go of the need for any external voice or expectation. Just like the whiptail lizard, you are whole in this moment. You do not need to seek anything outside of yourself to find peace. The world may be vast and full of movement, but right here, in the sanctuary of your own breath, there is a perfect, self-contained harmony. This strategy of survival is not just a biological curiosity, it is a testament to the flexibility of the evolutionary story. When resources are scarce or when a species finds itself in a lonely environment, nature does not give up. It adapts. It finds a way to replicate the beauty it has already created. These lizards carry a heritage that is an unbroken chain of mothers. A silver thread of life that stretches back through time, weaving a story of quiet strength and endurance. Think of the patience required for such an existence. There is no rush to find a companion, no competition, only the steady, rhythmic cycle of birth and growth. It is a life of profound simplicity. A life where the individual is a bridge between the past and the future, all on its own. Let the tension in your shoulders melt into the mattress. As if you are that lizard sinking into the comfort of the cooling desert sand. Notice how your mind can become like a still pool of water, reflecting only its own depth. You are resting within your own essence, supported by the same internal wisdom that allows a single cell to become a new life. Nature teaches us that while connection is beautiful, there is also a sacred power in being enough as you are. You are a complete expression of the universe's will to exist. Every inhale is a gift you give to yourself, every exhale is a release of the world's demands. The desert is growing dark now, the stars are beginning to appear over the ridges, and the lonely mothers are tucked away in the crevices of the earth, dreaming of the daughters who will carry their light into tomorrow. They are not truly lonely, for they carry the whole of their history within them. And so do you. The journey of the whiptail is a journey of quiet confidence. It is the knowledge that the path forward is already written in your very being. You are safe in your own company. You are protected by the deep time that has crafted you so carefully. Sleep now, drifting into the soft, reflective silence of the self. The world is quiet, and you are whole. Leaving behind the sun-scorched canyons and the solitary, self-sufficient lives of the desert, we turn our gaze once more toward the coastlines, where the foamy white surf meets the ancient, shifting boundary of the shore. Sometimes, life performs a magnificent, slow-motion circle, spending millions of years traveling away from its origins, only to feel the irresistible pull of home once again. Tonight, we will contemplate one of the most breathtaking, return stories, in the history of the world, the journey of the creatures that once walked on four legs upon the earth, only to surrender themselves back to the infinite embrace of the deep blue sea. The great whales that rule the oceans today are masters of a world without weight, yet their story is, at its heart, a story of coming home. Approximately 50 million years ago, the ancestors of the whale were not the giants we know today. They were small, four-legged mammals that lived at the water's edge. Imagine a creature known as Pakicetus. It looked perhaps like a long-legged wolf or a delicate deer, foraging along the muddy banks of ancient rivers and coastal swamps. It breathed the air, it felt the solid ground beneath its hooves, and it carried the warmth of the sun on its fur. But deep within its spirit, there was a curiosity for the waves. Over vast stretches of time, through a process of immense patience and subtle change, these land dwellers began to spend more of their lives in the shallow waters. Perhaps they entered the water to escape the heat of the day, or to find sanctuary from predators on the shore. Slowly, generation by generation, the water began to reshape them. It was not a sudden leap, but a gradual softening of their forms. Think of the quiet transition as you lie in your bed tonight. Imagine the feeling of the heavy, solid ground slowly being replaced by the buoyancy of a warm, supportive tide. Feel the tension in your limbs beginning to dissolve, just as the legs of the whale's ancestors began to shorten and transform. Their front legs flattened into powerful paddles, designed for steering through the currents. While their back legs, no longer needed to carry their weight against gravity, began to shrink and eventually vanish into the smooth, streamlined curve of their bodies. Even their breath changed its path. Their nostrils migrated from the front of their face to the very top of their head, becoming the blowholes that allow them to breathe with a single, graceful rise to the surface. It is a masterpiece of adaptation. A creature that carries the heart and lungs of a land dweller into the deepest reaches of the ocean. As you sink deeper into your pillow, imagine yourself as one of these ancient travelers. Feel the relief of letting go of the struggle with gravity. In the water, you are weightless, you are supported by a force that is much larger than yourself. The whales found a way to reclaim the freedom of the sea while keeping the warm-blooded wisdom of the land. They are a bridge between two worlds, a living reminder that we are allowed to change our minds, to change our paths, and to return to the places where we find the most peace. There is a profound silence in the deep ocean, a silence that matches the stillness you are seeking now. Down there, the sun's light fades into a soft, glowing twilight, and the only sound is the rhythmic, low-frequency song of the giants as they communicate across hundreds of miles. It is a world where there is no rush, where every movement is slow and deliberate, where life flows like a dream. Think of the bones we discussed before, those tiny, hidden hip bones floating inside the whale's body. They are not a sign of failure, but a badge of history. They tell us that the whale remembers where it came from, and that it chose to be here, in the water, instead. We all carry these inner landmarks. Memories of who we used to be and the long roads we have traveled to reach this moment of rest. Let your breath become as deep and steady as the whale's. Inhale the quiet, exhale the weight of the day. You are floating in a sea of tranquility. The currents of time are gentle, and they are carrying you toward a sleep that is as vast and restorative as the ocean, itself. Everything is in its right place. The landwalker has found its fins. The restless mind has found its stillness. You are safe in the deep. The stars are reflecting on the surface of the water far above, but down here, in the dark, there is only the heartbeat of the earth. Sleep now, drifting through the ancient blue, and let the giants of the deep guard your dreams. Rising from the deep, rhythmic blue of the whale's world, from the weightless silence of the ocean depths, we turn our gaze once more toward the sky, toward the gentle swaying of tree branches and the soft, golden light of the morning. We often speak of the dinosaurs as if they are ghosts, echoes of a world that ended in fire and shadow 66 million years ago. But tonight, we are going to open a window in our minds and realize that those ancient giants never truly left us. They are still here, in our gardens, on our windowsills, and in the very air we breathe. When you watch a sparrow hop across the grass, or a hawk circle slowly in the thermal currents of the afternoon, you are not just looking at a bird. You are looking at a living, breathing dinosaur. Modern birds are the direct descendants of a group of two-legged, meat-eating dinosaurs called theropods, the same family that included the mighty and fearsome Tyrannosaurus rex. While the giants perished when the world changed, a small branch of that family tree survived. They shrank, they adapted, and they sought sanctuary in the sky. Imagine the profound transformation that took place over millions of quiet years. The heavy, earth-shaking scales of the ancient reptiles did not simply vanish, they were reinvented. Evolution, the patient and meticulous tailor, began to fray the edges of those scales, turning them into something softer, lighter, and more delicate. Feathers. In the beginning, feathers were not meant for flight. Long before the first bird ever took to the air, dinosaurs were covered in a soft, downy fuzz. Think of these early feathers as a warm, protective blanket, much like the one you might be tucked under right now. They were designed to keep the ancient spark of life warm during the cool nights of the Mesozoic era. They were an embrace from nature, a way to hold on to the heat of the sun long after it had set. As you lie there in the stillness, feel that same sense of warmth and protection. Imagine your own worries as heavy, ancient scales that are slowly being replaced by the lightness of feathers. Feel the tension in your muscles dissolving, as if your bones are becoming hollow and filled with air, just like the bones of a bird. To fly, the dinosaur had to become light, and to rest, you must do the same. The story of the bird is a story of survival through refinement. It is proof that even the most formidable lineages can find a new way to exist. By becoming smaller, more graceful, and more attuned to the rhythms of the wind. The terrifying roar of the ancestor has been softened into the melodic song of the descendant. It is a reminder that beauty often follows strength, and that peace is the final destination of a long and difficult journey. Think of the incredible diversity that came from that one surviving branch. From the tiny hummingbird, whose wings beat like a heartbeat in the air, to the owl, who moves through the night in absolute, feathered silence. They all carry the skeletal map of the dinosaur within them, the same three-toed feet, the same curved neck, the same fierce spirit of endurance. Let your mind drift into the canopy of an ancient forest. See the sunlight filtering through the leaves, catching the iridescent shimmer of a feather. There is no violence here, no hunger. Only the steady, peaceful existence of a creature that has mastered the heavens. The dinosaurs did not disappear, they simply learned how to sing. You are safe in this realization. You are part of a world that knows how to preserve what is precious. Just as the earth held onto the line of the dinosaur through the darkest of times, you are being held by the quiet continuity of life. Everything around you is older than it seems. The bird on the branch is a messenger from deep time, telling you that even after the greatest storms, life finds a way to return in a more beautiful form. Inhale the soft, cool air of the night, exhale the weight of the prehistoric past. You are light, you are resting, you are soaring in the quiet altitudes of your own dreams. The wings are folded now. The ancient giants are at rest in the trees. And you, too, can find your perch in the silence. Sleep now, among the soft echoes of feathers, and let the living dinosaurs guard the peace of your night. Gently descending from the high, feathered altitudes of the birds and the ancient shadows of the dinosaurs, we return our awareness once more to the present moment, to the quiet sanctuary of our own skin and the steady beating of our own hearts. Every great story has its footnotes, those small, subtle details tucked away at the bottom of the page that explain where the narrative began. Your body is no different. Beneath the surface of your modern life, you carry a silent library of evolutionary footnotes, traces of ancestors who lived, struggled, and thrived in worlds that no longer exist. These are the vestigial echoes of our past, parts of us that no longer have a job to do, but remain as loyal witnesses to our long journey through time. Think of a moment when you felt a sudden chill, or perhaps a surge of deep emotion as you listened to a beautiful piece of music. You felt that familiar prickling sensation, what we call goosebumps. In this modern world, it is a fleeting feeling, a curiosity of the skin. But millions of years ago, for your ancestors, this was a vital shield. Close your eyes and imagine a time when our lineage was covered in thick, protective fur. In the cold of the prehistoric night, or in the presence of a shadow in the grass, the tiny muscles at the base of every hair would contract. This would puff out the fur, trapping a layer of warm air against the skin like a natural coat, or making the ancestor appear larger and more formidable to a challenger. Today, the thick fur is gone, but the faithful reflex remains. Every time you feel that shiver, your body is reaching back across the ages, trying to wrap you in a warmth it used to provide, a ghost of a coat that still remembers how to protect you. As you lie in the softness of your bed, feel that same sense of protection. You don't need the thick fur of the past tonight, the world is quiet, and you are safe. But acknowledge that ancient part of you that is still standing guard, a reflex that has been passed down through thousands of generations, just for you. There are other footnotes hidden in the architecture of your senses. Have you ever seen someone who can wiggle their ears? Most of us have lost this ability, yet the muscles are still there, resting quietly behind the cartilage. Long ago, in the dappled light of ancient forests, our survival depended on the direction of a sound. We needed to pivot our ears toward the snap of a twig or the rustle of a leaf, just as a deer or a cat does today. Now, our lives are filled with different sounds, and our safety is found in different ways. Those muscles have retired. They have become silent monuments to a time of heightened alertness. Let the muscles in your own face and ears relax now. There are no sounds you need to track, no shadows you need to watch. You can surrender the vigilance of the forest for the peace of the pillow. The work of the years is done for the day. Even the small curve at the base of your spine, the tailbone, is a memory of a time when our ancestors balanced themselves high in the canopy of trees. We no longer need a tail to navigate the world, but the foundation remains, a sturdy little anchor at the end of the spine. And the appendix, once a vast laboratory for digesting tough fibers, has shrunk into a quiet corner, perhaps waiting for a new purpose, or simply resting after millions of years of labor. Nothing in your body is a mistake. Every useless part is a badge of honor, a sign that you belong to a lineage that never gave up. A lineage that kept moving, kept adapting, and kept only what was necessary for the next step of the journey. We are masterpieces of efficiency, but we are also museums of history. Inhale deeply, feeling the expansion of your ribs, and exhale the need to be perfect. You are a beautiful mosaic of the ancient and the new. Your DNA is a tapestry woven from the threads of countless lives, and these vestigial traces are the knots that hold the fabric together. Imagine the long line of people who came before you, each one passing down these small, silent gifts. They survived the cold, the dark, and the unknown so that you could be here tonight, experiencing this moment of absolute stillness. You are the culmination of their endurance. The world outside is vast and old, but inside you, there is a world just as vast and just as ancient. You are carrying the wisdom of the earth in your very cells. The goosebumps, the hidden muscles, the silent bones, they are all whispering that you are part of something much larger than yourself. Everything is coming to rest. The reflexes of the day are fading into the shadows. The muscles are letting go of their ancient duties. You are safe in the hands of evolution, safe in the legacy of your ancestors. Sleep now, among the footnotes of time. And let the body's silent heritage cradle you in a deep, historic peace. Gently drifting away from the silent footnotes of our own bodies, the goosebumps, the ancient muscles, and the echoes of our past, we turn our awareness once more toward the deep, shimmering currents of the ocean. In our human world, we are taught to see time as a straight line, a road that begins in the morning and ends in the night, a journey from youth toward the twilight of age. But tonight, we will contemplate a creature that has unraveled the very fabric of time. A tiny, translucent wonder that refuses to follow the rules of the end. The Turritopsis dornii, the immortal jellyfish. Imagine a creature no larger than a fingernail, floating like a delicate bell of glass through the warm, tropical waters. It moves with a rhythmic, pulsing grace, its tentacles trailing behind it like fine silver threads. In the usual story of life, this creature would age, weaken, and eventually return to the sea. But this jellyfish carries a secret within its cells, a biological reset button that it can press whenever the world becomes too difficult to endure. When it faces injury, or when the ocean grows cold and barren, or even when it simply reaches the natural end of its adult life, it does not surrender. Instead, it performs a miracle of transformation called transdifferentiation. It begins to shrink, its tentacles retract, its bell-shaped body softens. And it transforms itself back into a tiny blob of tissue. It sinks to the ocean floor and becomes a polyp once again, the very first stage of its life. It is as if a butterfly could choose to become a caterpillar again, or a mighty oak could fold itself back into the quiet safety of a tiny acorn. For the immortal jellyfish, time is not a line, it is a circle. A beautiful, endless loop of beginning, growing, and returning to the start. As you lie here in the stillness of your own room, let the pressure of time dissolve from your mind. Think of the weight of the hours, the days, and the years that we carry on our shoulders. Imagine that weight slowly melting away into the cool, supportive water of the deep. You don't need to be at the end of anything tonight. You don't need to worry about the distance you have traveled or the road that lies ahead. Like the jellyfish, you can return to a state of pure, untroubled potential. Feel your cells relaxing, your thoughts becoming as clear and transparent as the sea. There is a profound peace in the idea that nothing is ever truly lost, it is only waiting to be reborn in a different form. Every mistake, every fatigue, and every heavy memory can be released into the dark blue void, leaving only the essence of who you are. In the silence of the deep ocean, there is no ticking of a clock. There is only the slow, eternal pulse of the tides. The immortal jellyfish lives in this rhythm, drifting through the centuries, witnessing the rise and fall of empires on the shore while remaining forever young in its secret cycle. It is a reminder from nature that even the most rigid laws, like the law of aging, have their exceptions. That life is more flexible, more resilient, and more mysterious than we can ever imagine. Take a deep, slow breath, and as you exhale, imagine yourself sinking toward the soft, sandy floor of the ocean. Not to disappear, but to rest. To find that quiet place where you can reset your own spirit. You are safe in the cycle. You are held by the wisdom of the water. The world above may be rushing, chasing the minutes and the hours. But down here, there is only the stillness of the deep. You are becoming light, you are becoming simple. The complexity of the day is unraveling, leaving you with the pure, quiet heartbeat of the present moment. Just as the jellyfish finds its way back to the beginning, you are finding your way back to the source of your own peace. To the place where you were before the day began, the place where everything is calm, everything is possible, and everything is at rest. Nature has no end, only transitions. The stars above reflect on the water, marking the cycles of the heavens, while the jellyfish marks the cycles of the deep. You are part of both. You are an ancient soul in a resting body, a spark of the eternal in a quiet room. Inhale the immortality of the sea, exhale the limits of the day. The water is warm, the darkness is protective, and the cycle is complete. Sleep now. Drifting in the endless, beautiful loop of the night. Rising slowly from the immortal cycles of the deep sea, from the translucent bells of the jellyfish and the weightless silence of the tides, we begin our final ascent. We leave the earth behind, drifting past the clouds, past the atmosphere, and into the vast, velvety darkness where the ancient stars burn with a cold, steady light. Tonight, in this final chapter of our journey, we will contemplate the most profound truth of all. That we are not merely observers of the universe, we are made of its very fabric. We are the living, breathing echoes of the stars themselves. Close your eyes and let the boundaries of your room fade away into the infinite expanse of space. It is often said that we are stardust, but this is not just a romantic thought or a poet's dream. It is a literal, scientific truth written into the very marrow of your bones. Think of the calcium that gives your frame its strength, the iron that carries life-giving oxygen through your veins, the carbon that forms the architecture of your cells. None of these elements were created on Earth. Billions of years ago, in the heart of massive, ancient stars far across the galaxy, a pressure and heat beyond human imagination were at work. In those celestial furnaces, simple atoms were forged together, fused into the complex elements that make life possible. When those stars reached the end of their long lives, they did not simply vanish, they exploded in magnificent supernovas, scattering their precious contents across the light years like a cosmic gardener sowing seeds in the dark. As you lie there in the stillness, realize that you are the destination of that billion-year journey. Every atom in your left hand may have come from a different star than the atoms in your right. You are a gathering of ancient travelers, pieces of the universe that have traveled through nebulas, drifted through the void, and finally came together in this quiet room to form the person you are today. You are a way for the cosmos to know itself, a window through which the universe can look back at its own beginning. Feel the profound security in this connection. You cannot be lost in the universe because you are the universe. Every inhale you take is a breath of atoms that have seen the birth of galaxies. Every exhale is a release of energy back into the grand, eternal flow. There is no reason to fear the darkness of the night, for the darkness is where you began, and it is as familiar as a mother's embrace. Imagine yourself floating in a cosmic cradle, suspended between the stars. The silence of space is not empty. It is a full, resonant peace that has existed since the first spark of time. Let the gravity of the earth hold your body softly to the bed, while your mind drifts among the constellations. You are as much a part of the sky as the moon or the sun. Think of the vast time we have covered in this series, from the first cells in the sea to the great dinosaurs, from the return of the whales to the footprints of our ancestors. All of it is part of the same story. The same atoms that were once inside a star were later inside a dinosaur, and later inside a flower, and are now inside you. Nothing is ever truly destroyed, it only changes its form, its song, and its dream. Let the tension in your mind dissolve into the scale of the cosmos. Your worries of the day are like tiny grains of sand on an infinite beach. In the grand perspective of light years and eons, there is only the present moment. And the absolute rightness of your existence. You are exactly where you are meant to be, a point of light in the vast, dark tapestry of being. Nature has brought you through billions of years of trial, error, and beauty to reach this night. You are the work of the stars, the masterpiece of deep time. And now, it is time for the stars to rest within you. The universe is vast, and it is endlessly patient. It is not rushing toward a finish line. It is simply being. As you drift toward sleep, adopt that same cosmic patience. You don't need to achieve anything more today. You have already completed a journey across the universe just to be here. Feel the warmth of the sun stored in your blood, the coolness of the moonlight in your thoughts, and the steady, ancient rhythm of the galaxy in your pulse. Everything is interconnected, everything is one. The library of the stars is closing its books for the night. The echoes of deep time are fading into a soft, melodic hum. You are safe in the cradle of the cosmos. Sleep now, among the stardust, and let the light of a trillion suns guide you into the deepest, most universal rest.